Hello, it's James here. Thought I'd better put a warning out just before the start of this podcast, as my wonderful friend and colleague, Mr. Laurie Wise, has created a musical masterpiece that may hurt some people's ears. Enjoy! Welcome to TV Autopsy, slicing its way through the series you love. What do you think of that, guys? My name's James.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, pretty good slicing.
My name's James.
Maybe next episode we could be dicing.
My name's still
swabbing.
James. Who is here?
I'm Ash.
Hello, Ashley. Ash.
Hello,
Ashley.
Ash.
And who else have we got?
I'm Laurie here, over here.
Hello, mate. How are you? How are we all?
Good.
Very well, quite pumped.
To this.
It's exciting. This is our first kind of, what do you call it when a series gets a spin-off show? A spin-off show. We're a spin-off show now.
That's it.
All right, so this is the TV Autopsy. So I've written a couple of rules for us to consider. Can I like them all? And this is really for the people who are listening, but we're going to be talking about one series of a show. Yeah, and we're going to always do it in order. So we're not going to dive in on series 3 of a show. We'll start from the beginning, and throughout time, I'm sure we will get through things. We'll be talking about the show in detail, so if you don't want spoilers, go and watch the show first, then come back. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're only our opinions, so don't get too worried about it. You know, we don't really know anything, but we just like talking about it.
I can vouch for that.
Absolutely. And if you have any comments about the shows, it'd be really good to read them out just to bulk out the show a bit, really. And just email us at themovielighthouse@gmail.com, or we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we're on the other one. What's the other one?
Instagram.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes, Ash, downwich to kids.
Downwich.
It's probably not Instagram anymore, though, is it? It's probably something even more crazy.
It's probably something Trump's trying to ban right at this minute.
There you go.
All right, so we are opening this with the choice by our guest presenter tonight, which is Ash. And we are doing The Umbrella Academy Season 1.
Oh, he's brought it to the slab. Look at it there, with its cold, dark eyes.
In October 1989, 43 women around the world gave birth. None of these women had been pregnant when the day first began.
How much do you want for it?
I have adopted 6 children, gifted with abilities far beyond the ordinary. I give you the Umbrella Academy.
First off, have we all seen it, Laurie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you sure?
As of the first series, I did sneak in first episode of series 2 as well, as of yesterday evening. So I started a very, very long time ago, back February 2019 in Edinburgh, in a haunted basement B&B house. And I started watching it there. I'll get into more of the details there, but then I finished first season, series, whatever you want to call it, yesterday evening.
All right. Okay, great. Well, let me give you a bit of details. How about you, Ash? When did you first see it?
I saw it when it first came out on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you in a haunted castle?
I wasn't in haunted, but not in a castle anyway. But generally, my life is haunted.
Before
Nice.
All right, so I'll give you some information about it. It was released in 2019 on Netflix. It's based on a comic by Gerard Way. A showrunner is Steve Blackman, and it was also developed by Jeremy Slater. There are no spin-offs as yet. And it stars Ellen Page, Tom Hopper, David Castaneda, I should check these before she died. Emmy Rather Lampman, Robert Sheehan, Aidan Gallagher, Mary J. Blige, Cameron Britton, John Magano, Adam Godley, Colin Fiore, Justin H. Min, Ritu Arya, Yusuf Gatewood, Marion Ireland, and Kate Walsh.
Oh,
Jesus.
you say you should check these before you outread it. You
Definitely should read
You should
them.
audibly say them. Rather than just checking, you need to get your teeth around them. That's Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
Jesus, I never realised. Cha-Cha, I really, really fancy Cha-Cha.
Well,
That's Mary J. Blige.
Well, we'll get onto her in a bit. We'll get onto her in a bit.
Shit. Anyway,
Ashley.
I just when you said it then, I was like, oh my God, of course it is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ash, why did you choose this series?
I chose this because I was already watching season 2, which obviously we're not going to talk about. But I really like some of the actors, and so it kind of stood out for me because of some of the performances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What sort of, who stood out for you?
Robert Sheehan, I'd say.
Who's that? Well, let's use the names of the characters as well, because that will help me.
Robert Sheehan is Klaus.
Okay.
We know him as Klaus. He's the one that can see dead people. And reminded me of his performance in Misfits, actually. Where
Misfits, yeah.
Recently, it just popped up, so I started watching that. And he ends up seeing dead people in that as well. So maybe he's just got a bit of a castability.
He's been typecast already. Jeez.
I saw him in Camden once as well. He looked me in the eye and winked.
Oh, did he really? Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I'm sure he's listening right now. So
was it a wink with intent, or was it just like a hello, or is it a hello sailor?
He's obviously one of these people that doesn't mind a bit of the limelight. So I think he saw that I recognised him, and before he could even have a chance to feel a bit awkward, he just gave me a wink. So that was it. Really.
Caught the acknowledgement kind of thing. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. He was really good in Misfits, though. I remember when that came out. That's a good 4 or 5 years ago now, isn't it? But he did really stand out in that. So that's a British Channel 4, again, sort of sci-fi series, isn't it? Where they've all got separate powers and shit.
All right. So, Laurie, do you want to give us a premise of the show?
It's probably not best for me to do it, but Ash, you can correct me about this.
We'll both correct you.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Right, so I've got to basically travel back in time. I'm back in Edinburgh. I'm in the haunted house. So kind of, you've got this dude, right? He's got a beard. He's a little bit like Colonel Sanders, but hasn't eaten as much chicken. And he's kind of he knows that there are these kids out there that have specific powers, and I believe they're all orphans. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong.
Kind of
You're
starts collecting them.
Completely wrong.
Okay, well, he kind of collects them into the academy that he has. They all have separate individual powers, but the story starts off much after that early event where I think he's demised for whatever reason. They've all gone their separate ways, and they all come back together. And then there's a certain plot that they all kind of go off from there with. All
right, Ash, do you want to correct him, or shall I?
Not really a correction. Yeah, no, you're on the right lines. Yeah, so there were 43 women around the world that gave birth simultaneously on October 1st, 1989.
That's it.
Yeah, and he somehow knows, and he adopts them all and starts what he calls the Umbrella Academy. At first, apparently they didn't show any signs of powers, but then they eventually start to show signs, and he has the Umbrella Academy. So he starts this academy, saving people around the world. There's a bit of fame for them, but then obviously they kind of grow up. Everyone adopts some kind of issues, and they all have these issues growing up, and that's where we kind of land in the first season.
Yeah, and we've got a structure where we're in the present and delving into the past, aren't we? So we're seeing these kids and how they were kind of reared by what's the name of the guy who's in charge of this place? His character name.
Oh, Hargreaves.
Reginald Hargreaves,
right.
Is it, or something?
Reginald Hargreaves, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we do get the past, but we also get a slice of the future as well, don't we, Heinen?
absolutely. We'll get onto that in a bit through our friend number 5. But what would you say is the hook of this series, Ash?
The hook. It's the superpowers, isn't it? So they all.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in superhero territory. Go on, Lloyd.
No, go on. For
I was
me,
just going to say, it's always, we're in the origin story, aren't we, in the first series, really?
Yeah.
We're learning about how they came to be, or more or less how they came to be, and learning a little bit about their powers. And then I suppose alongside that, we have got the storyline about the world is destroyed, and it's about solving that mystery and how they can stop the world being destroyed.
Yeah, that's kind of like the coming future. So kind of a little bit going back to that hook bit. So first of all, the first sort of 4 episodes that I think I saw in like the first night, I was definitely kind of hooked by the Klaus character. But then it kind of went on a little bit and he kind of started to annoy me. But then number 5, what it is, he really caught me. And actually through the whole season, he's kind of been the main consistent hook for me. He's kept me going.
Yeah, for me, 5 is by
but it's
far
that like you say, the Armageddon.
the
So we find out quite early that the world comes to shit because 5 can jump through time and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's come back saying, right, he's obsessed about saving the world and no Armageddon.
I'm just going to jump in there. Like Aidan Gallagher, as he was talking about, number 5, and he at that season 1, he might have been about 15 filming that, and
yeah,
he was 16 when it was released. I just think that what a phenomenal performance for someone who's 16. He's 17 now, just turned 17. But
right,
what a fantastic performance as well.
He's really, he's consistently good through it. I think the character as well, though, because maybe we'll get to this a little bit later, but yeah, every single character throughout this, I just start finding begins to annoy me a bit. They're all a bit just like, annoying me now.
I guess
all of them, apart from Cha-Cha and Hazel. Cha-Cha and Hazel are okay. I think Cha-Cha's really cute, and Hazel's he's a bless, isn't he? But the Academy dude's just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Diego was the first one, and he's just consistently annoys me.
I really like Diego.
So annoying.
Yeah, I think Diego's great. But I tell you, for me, the person that kind of annoyed me from the start was Alison. I thought she was very flat,
Oh,
a little bit.
And there was just nothing to her. She was, she was a bit like a dementor.
So I thought Tom Hopper, the Luther, I thought he was a bit not flat, but I just think there wasn't very many dimensions to his character or performance.
Yeah.
There was only so far that his kind of shitty childhood can kind of like carry him through.
Yeah, exactly. And
being sent to the moon for 4 years. Again, actually, another thing about the hook that we haven't sort of touched on is the aesthetic of this thing is kind of, it's really, really very beautiful. I mean, you've got like Pogo, the monkey, who's a full-on talking monkey. He's obviously CGI, but he looks great. And the Academy, the building itself has got a wonderful aesthetic about it. The mother is a robot. She's got the weirdness about it. It kind of ties in with the, Extraordinary League of Gentlemen, that kind of idea, these weird and wonderful characters in this kind of really rich sort of environment. That's a big thing about this, isn't it?
So, but I've read a little bit of the comic, and the comic's really stylized and almost manga-esque, really. And I feel that they lose a lot with that. I mean, I can't help but compare this very much to a Doom Patrol. Have either of you guys seen that?
No.
Have you seen the story? All right. No. So Doom Patrol is about 4 or 5 unlikely superheroes. It's very funny, very dark, very twisted. And I watched that before I watched this. So in comparison, this was very weak for me, really. And it took me a while to kind of get into this because I didn't really care for... I mean, Vanya, oh my God, she's a misery guts. And I know that's the point, but she's got top billing in this show.
Yeah, well, she's a punchy actress, and when I first saw her in this, I was like, oh, great, I really love her. I love her in Juno, I love her in Hard Boiled. But then, again, all these characters have just got this psychological damage that just like, can't be asked with your psychological damage. And that's
I love
why,
that.
obviously, 5 keeps me going, because 5's nailing it. He's down.
And to get a performance where you're a kid playing like a 50-odd-year-old man.
Yeah.
And he's got these kind of gives, I mean, these kind of tells where the way he kind of holds himself is almost like forward on his knee, and you know, he's brilliant. He's incredibly watchable. But I'll tell you what.
But that I think.
Go on.
No, I was going to say that is a thing about this. That's a consistent thing across the majority of the characters. There's this certain drag in them. You know, Klaus has got his issues, and there's a drag to it. Luther has got the drag to it. Vanya's got a drag to her. Alison's got a drag to her. Diego, for me, is just annoying. But, you know, that kind of thing. So that's kind of... Anyway, we'll move on.
We do seem to be stuck in a world these days where every series has to have the present narrative and the past narrative or the future narrative. And I don't know if that started with Lost, because Lost was a massive,
game changer?
Game changer leader on this.
Actually.
But it does my head in a little bit. I mean, thoughts?
But, well, you say that. Yes, slightly, but I think this takes it in another direction. I think we're looking towards the future, and we don't know. They obviously explain throughout the season why they're so fucked up, and it's all because of this Hargreaves fella. But I think everything is working towards the future and the possibility of what's going to happen, and we are you discover more in the second season why they're all so effed up. But it's a good observation, though. But yeah, you're right. I think a lot of seasons do that.
Okay, so go on.
I like the introduction of the what's it called, the commission or whatever it is. So it's kind of like there's a ruling of what must happen and it should happen, and time is no bounds for them. It's kind of like, I suppose, visually, kind of the. What's that place in Harry Potter where they're all sat at desks and stuff? It's very similar to that. They're kind of over. Yeah, there you go.
So just to give a recap on the villains. So we've got Cha-Cha and Maurice, who come from the agency to capture number 5. And that's a through line because he used to work for the agency and he fucked off and they want him back. And they're ultra violent. They, there's every time they do like an action sequence where they're blowing the fuck out of people, they play a song.
Right.
Which I find slightly annoying and a bit predictable as well.
That's for the dumber audience, though.
Yeah, well, I'm not the dumber audience, are you?
Yeah, you're above it then.
But do we like them? Do they work?
I love the way when we first meet them, though. Their masks looks great. Again, aesthetically, awesome. I think there's a massive shoot up that goes on in a department store where 5 is trying to nick a mannequin that he's known for many a year.
Hey, Dolores, the girl he's in love with.
Yeah, beautiful. But that introduction when they first turn up, freaking awesome. Loved it. I thought it was really good. But yeah, they do play. There are a lot of kind of effective like music videos in this, and some of the choices. I mean, the limited amount of notes I've taken. My first 2 ones are David Gray, Top Loader, ... Unforgivable.
What does that mean?
So David Gray, there's a David Gray song that comes in when Diego finds the love of his life is in not a particularly good way. I won't give anything away.
Yes.
And then Top Loader is when your Luther and your Alison start doing this kind of dance.
All right. Okay, yeah. I think the standout musical moment is when Luther puts on the record of Tiffany, I Think We're Alone Now.
Yeah.
Back in the mansion, they just all start dancing to it. Yeah. That's genuinely funny.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Leonard, the other villain of the piece, I suppose. So he befriends and gets romantically involved with Tanya.
Yeah.
And then he turns out to be. What? We're going to use spoilers. We've talked about
right. Okay, fine. I thought we weren't.
I remember the first rule.
Oh.
Jeez.
Oh yeah. I've got a tattoo here.
Again,
Shit.
I mean, yeah, I thought he worked, I suppose. But I don't know. It just annoyed me. I mean, Alison was so mistrustful of him for such a long time. Why didn't she just do her rumour power on him?
That's a good point. I think there's a few moments in the season as well where they could have done that. But
in fact, she could have done it all the way through, all the time.
All the way through.
It'd be really easy, wouldn't it?
But I guess it'd be tiresome as well. If you imagine being that character, it'd be quite tiresome to just be try and keep up with everyone you've rumoured.
Yeah, I guess
you're
so.
just rumouring everyone around you. You've got to try to start writing down why you've ruined them. But I think this guy, though, you've got to remember, he's just a tool, a means to get Vanya to where we've got to be at the end.
Okay.
That's all it is. So
yeah.
What is it you didn't like about him?
Well, I don't know. I just found it all a bit. It's like, I don't know.
It's kind of it's a story we've seen quite a lot of times. I think we see it in the Incredibles, for example. There's like a uber fan, isn't there? Who really identifies, and they get snubbed in a little way, and then you obviously have a little look into his life, and then you get his motivations, and that's kind of it. But like you say, Ash, it is kind of that tool to get Vanya looking like a full-on gothic vamp, which I must say she looks awesome when she goes like that.
She did.
Which is basically the Dark Phoenix, yeah.
You what?
The Dark Phoenix from the X-Men.
Ah, yeah.
But, I'm
with a bit more Salem's Lot, a twist of Salem's Lot in there.
The other story about kind of the murder mystery about Reginald Hargreaves is hardly riveting. I think that fades away to nothing as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll come back to that, but it was just...
No. We find out how and why he popped his clogs.
Remind me.
He was having a shave he was shaving Klaus, wasn't he? Because Klaus and his connection to the dead, and he finally gets to speak to his dad, and he's like, well, I actually deliberately did it to bring you lot together because I knew there wouldn't be another way unless I framed it as a murder mystery. You guys need to all come together and find out who did it, why did it. Because there's an apocalypse coming, you need to stop that. Far more important.
Oh wow! I forgot about that. Oh, well, there you go.
It's a bit of a false dead end, though, then, isn't it? It's kind of like, oh, I died. This is the mystery, and it's like, no, I'm taking away this mystery. You've got a new one now. Off you go.
Yeah.
All
right. So let's talk a little bit about effects. I think it lacks a defining style myself.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think there's any. I don't know. There's nothing that really kind of makes it unique for me.
I disagree.
Go on then.
I think the fact that you can see straight away. Let's think about Luther on the moon.
What the fuck's he doing on the moon?
Well, obviously it's part of the thing. He's part of his distraught, shitty childhood. But I think you see straight away that the way it's filmed, that it's come straight out of a comic book. I think more than I'd say more than like X-Men. We were just talking about X-Men. I'd say more.
I agree.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
It's better,
more stylized.
I
agree.
Yeah. Even like the X-Men series, I'd say it's filmed more comic book style than say the old X-Men cartoon series was. But like on the moon, I think everything is just so kind of like, why is he on the moon? There were these things happening. Why is that happening? It's just.
I think that question still remains. I know in the first series you kind of get this answer. You kind of get it twice as well. I think Luther discovers it twice through the medium of time travel and what's it called? Parallel universes or whatever. But I don't think we've actually got the full answer.
I don't really. I think there's going to be more to uncover.
But when it comes to the style, though, I'm with Ash on it. Definitely has its own identity. It's got that. It's quite that apothecary kind of, old more Harry Potter kind of detail to it. A walking, talking monkey, a robot dude on the moon.
Okay, all right. So my problem is, I think I've been spoiled because I'm a massive fan of Doom Patrol, and it's
an organisation on about the Doom Patrol.
It's an organisation pulled together by an old man. Who is Timothy Dalton? Who is
Timothy Dalton?
He is Timothy Dalton, and he's just. I found Reginald Hargreaves, the character of him, just absolutely cliche and pointless, personally. But I'll put that to one side. All right.
No, you've got to explain why you think the character is pointless.
Because I just thought he was a complete stereotype.
Yeah, it's got a point, Ash.
But people recognise stereotypes, and they apply their own experiences.
I thought it was a performance with very little charisma, very little interest. It's like with Alison and stuff like that. It just doesn't go anywhere. You know, and I know this is how they're being like asked to portray themselves, like Vanya being a fucking misery guts, but I don't care. You know, there's not enough humour in it, I suppose. And I know I'm comparing it with another show, but I can't help it because that's so similar, these two shows. They're both set in a massive mansion.
I've just searched Doom Patrol, I do agree.
And Rita, you know, there's a character called Rita in Doom Patrol who is a 1940s film star who gets turned into like, well, she's going to end up as Elastigirl, but at the moment, every time someone criticises the way she looks, she just melts. And it's just funny, you know, because she's so vain. And you've got touches of that, and it kind of comes through better in the second season, I think. But we're focused on this season.
Yeah. I've got to agree there.
But back to the positive, just talking about effects, I think Five's costume is inspired.
Yeah, awesome.
You know, it's just really funny dressing him as a schoolboy. I don't know
so
why
doesn't he change? He keeps complaining about it all. Just change.
And the other thing, I suppose, just to talk about on that area, I quite like the titles. Everyone remember the titles?
All right, you always get like the introduction of the Umbrella Company written on something, a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. Very comic book.
Yeah, I think that's
I
think that's good. All right, so shall we talk, even though we have a bit, about problems with it?
Yeah, okay.
Ash, kick us off.
No, I think you should start us off here.
Well, I've already said one of my points, the humour lacks. Laurie, do you remember any problems?
Yeah, I suppose the problem for me is it's kind of, it's that interest. I mean, like I say, my first viewing was a good 4 or 5 episodes potentially back to back. So, and I remember I was kind of feeling around episode 4, was like, oh, what character do I like? And it's like, because they all kind of like get annoying. And that's it. It's kind of,
Do you think that's the point?
And I just want a little bit more. So for me, the experience of, I think there's 10 episodes of the first series. And
I love that format. I love the fact that nowadays we only have to watch 10 of them.
Yeah. Well, the first 4, I was absolutely fine. And I started waning, and I didn't go back to it until I found out, you know, obviously that unfortunate accident happened to it. And now it's here in the autopsy on the slab with the dark staring eyes. But so I started watching the rest of it. So the first couple of episodes again, I was like, but then I got back into it again because obviously the plot gets a little bit more, oh shit, oh okay. And then we start, you know, going into I keep forgetting what they're called. Not the commission. What are they called again?
I think it is the commission, isn't it? I think it is. And what we haven't talked about.
But it picks up again. So there's just a bit of everyone's a bit miserable, and it's
we
like,
haven't mentioned the woman
on.
who runs the commission, and she does turn up in season 1, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Only a little bit. We've seen much more of her in season 2, which we're not talking about today. But she's very good.
Yeah.
She's good.
All right, so we're getting to the end, but I've got some questions for you guys. All right, so we'll start with Laurie. This is for everyone though. Who gives, in your opinion, the performance of the series?
The performance of the series.
Number 5 for me.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's number 5 for me.
Of course, it's number 5, and his Margarita, swiftly followed by Cha-Cha. Oh, I love Cha-Cha. I think she loves Hazel. I think she loves Hazel because she was just about to do him in the woods, and then he starts talking about these birds that meet each other and they're free and they can shag and do whatever they want whenever they want. And I want to be, and she doesn't kill him. There's like a little look in her eye.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Am I reading into it?
Yeah.
And then she finds him at the donut store, whatever, and she's like, you little butt. And then that's it. She's done.
So, well, that's a resounding win for him then.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Well, no, I've got to say as well, above number 5, Klaus, Robert Sheehan as well. Like, he's always good, I think.
I think it started really well. And
I agree.
It was my original hook, but
Right.
I did get a bit bored. You know, I mean, 5 is just watchable.
Yeah, he is just watchable.
All right, Laurie, Ash, set piece of the series. What was the thing?
What was the thing?
So I'll say mine first. I reckon, and it was early on actually. It was number 5 at the donut shop when he was showing off, doing all his, you know, he murdered all the people out to get him. I thought that was brilliant. And even the build up to that with Agnes in there. Anyone got anything else?
Yeah, I think for me, I always really enjoy the introduction of the characters. So one for me, I know we weren't a big one on Luther, but I think just the fact that that moment where he's on the moon at the beginning, looking at the Earth, I think that really set the bar for the whole series. I just thought like the visuals were fantastic there, and we didn't understand why he was on the moon, you know, but it was obviously sent there because of guilt. But I just think the visuals there really kind of stood out for me, and then they kept that up throughout.
Yeah, Laurie?
Yeah, I mean, I think I must have to agree with you, James, with regards to when 5 was slaying. But then I also think about like the introduction to Cha-Cha and Hazel. I remember quite enjoying.
Okay. All right. Third question. What was the big shock of the series for you? What was the big surprise? So for me, it was the murder of Diego's girlfriend. It was like that came out of the blue for me. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought that was going to be a long-term love interest. I thought that was going to be the connection with the police and the law, and just killed them off.
Yeah.
You two? And I know I'm putting you on the spot here because I haven't.
No, well, mine was Vanya when Vanya
Had a power.
kicks Alison's ass. I'm like, what? Really? But then they kind of get out of that one. But yeah, I thought she had done something there.
Oh, when you think she's killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was, I don't know why I didn't see it coming, but it was when Vanya got the powers. That moment.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. Obviously, there was a trigger, but yeah. Really.
And Pogo.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Okay. That we definitely haven't seen the end of Pogo.
Well, no, we haven't. Suspension of disbelief for the series. What was the thing that you found most ridiculous? Laurie? And I know, I'm very aware that I'm putting you on the spot here, guys.
No. It's fine. That Alison was really that person in any way, or the actor was that Alison character in any way, shape, or form. Or that maybe Luther's body was actually his body and not just loads of like foam.
Yeah. I think it was Reginald Hargreaves for me. It really disaffected.
Well, yeah. I think I'll agree with Laurie there. Like it was the body of Luther. You never really buy into that. He's too shaped, you know. He kind of looked like he's been cut out.
Yeah. You can sort of like, if you look at his neck, you're like, right, normal neck. Oh, right, you're wearing a big puffy lump of foam.
It looks like he's wearing half a sofa.
Yeah. But it's fine though. Once you're in it, it's okay. But Luther's actually he's half. He's quite likable. He's obviously a schlop through the majority of it, but you can still kind of like him. But then at the end, he keeps constantly making these decisions, not listening to Alison, and kind of like pissing all over all her recommendations. And she's like, please don't. And it's like, right, now, I'm sorry, Luther, you've gone into the category of being annoying as well.
Yeah, I've got to agree there. And as well, I think I think that's just a big character flaw in the way it's written as well, because obviously he's been made to feel like he's got to make all these decisions, but it's not the team anymore, is it?
I don't think this series hits the ground running, and I think it gets better, and we'll talk a little bit about series 2 in a minute. But, all right, slow burner of the series. So I'll give you an example. So Agnes, the donut woman, for me, who I just thought was a throwaway character, that was lovely. I thought that whole thing was lovely and had a happy ending, which was nice.
Yeah.
Any slow burners for you guys?
There was I think that was the same for me as well, actually. And maybe number 5 and his relationship with the mannequin as well. Just how kind of like drastic that whole situation gets. You know,
Yeah.
when he's going into, like you say,
In
he's
the
going to the supermarket.
In the department store trying to save it. Yeah.
She's just there, shining, all new. It's not like he's got a renewed wife. You know, yeah, that was the nice, rewarding slow burner, I'd say.
Yeah. Laurie?
Nah.
You don't have to answer these, by the way.
Klaus's eye makeup. It might be a fashion choice for Halloween
Love
or
it.
something. I don't know.
And finally, defining moment of the series.
The moment just before they're all getting into it with Vanya in the theatre.
Yeah.
As well, you know, like you go this, yeah, life's been bad, you know, we're kind of, woe is me, everyone, and then it kind of comes together, you know, which is what you want. And you're talking about, you know, like slow burners. Obviously, that was about to happen, but we didn't know how. I think just the development of Vanya's powers and her just feeling so left out for so long was just like a really nice one there.
All right, Laurie?
I would say, I mean, like if you was walking down Sainsbury's or whatever and you're choosing certain products and stuff, if you're looking at the ingredients, if there's a really, really dangerous ingredient in a certain product, it will have like a big skull and crossbones or a big yellow sign. So I would have to say top loader dancing in the moonlight.
Fair enough. And for me, it was Five's return when he came back. I thought, oh, there we go. This is what the show's about. I loved it. All right, so we are going to score it. All right,
Yeah.
so these categories are out of 10. Performances, Laurie, 6. That's me. Laurie.
Oh man. Yeah, no. 6.
Ash.
Yeah, I'll say 6.
Effects, Ashley.
Effects, I'd say 9.
7.
8. Actually, performances, I'm going back to 5 just because of number 5.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry.
I'm not writing these down. Because
I am. No, it's okay. It's
Hold
okay.
on.
It's okay.
Hold on. Let me do this again. All right. So, performances. What is it?
Performances,
5.
I said at 6.
Oh, I don't usually have to do that. Are you writing that?
Do you want me to go?
No, it's all right. Ashley, 6. Laurie, what was yours?
8.
8. Effects. 7.
9.
Laurie.
Oh, shit, wait. Is this the Is this the second one? Is this number 2?
This is effects.
Effects.
Is this the second category?
Yeah.
All right, so the one just before is 5. This one is 8.
Right. Great. Plot. I'm going to give it a 5. Laurie.
6.
Yeah, I was going to go 6.
Consistency. Ash.
4.
Laurie.
4.
7 for me. Direction. 7.
6.
6.
Okay. Design. Laurie.
They give it a good try. 7.
Ash.
I think 9.
Wow. Okay. 6 for me. And sound, the music, and the theme tune gets a 5 for me.
Dancing in 3.
I give it 6.
Okay. Originality. Ashley.
Well, it's based on a comic book, so 4.
Okay. Gets 5 for me. Laurie.
5.
Enjoyability. Laurie.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad. Yeah. Well, 6.
7.
And 6 for me. And held my interest. It gets a 5 for me.
I had a big hiatus right in the middle of it. 5.
Oh.
6.
And a 6. All right. So I'm going to top up these scores. I can tell you that it ranks number 1 on our leaderboard. That's right.
Well done.
Punchy.
Well done,
With a percentage of 56%. So I don't know how long it's going to last.
Oof.
Right. So, Ashley, you're the guest star.
Okay.
So you get to pick the next series we're going to review. Not that you're going to be around to do it. And Laurie, you get to contribute to the list.
Autopsy.
So I'm going to give you the list, Ash.
Great.
We've got V, which was the early 80s series about lizards. Doom Patrol, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Castle Rock. These are all series 1, by the way. Mr. Mercedes, The Mandalorian, The Box of Delights, Fort Salem, Bates Motel, Hannibal, The Day of the Triffids, and you can't have the last one because you need a break.
Okay. I would choose The Mandalorian.
Right.
Because, one, because I've seen it, but two, because I think Disney are just buying everything out. So I think it'd be really interesting to just compare Disney to, I don't know, I guess some point.
Well, we may well have you back
Disney.
if you're a massive Mandalorian fan. But I imagine, Laurie, you might have something to say about this. Seeing as though he
I might do. Well, you know, we'll be doing that first series, and then we've got, you know, series 2 plopping out literally
Very soon,
in 30 days' time. So, yeah, that'd be good.
And Laurie, have you got something you want to add to the list?
Yeah, well, you know, obviously Taxi, but I'm going to hold back my desperation to do Taxi. So I will say great French thing, currently on Netflix, Marianne. Fantastic. Horror. Creepy.
Right.
A little bit,
Okay.
you know, does the usual kind of tricks, but great. Marianne.
Great. All right. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, James.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's freezing in here. What's the deal, actually? So, obviously, I did...
Go and put the heater on, Laurie. Put the heater on.
Okay. Have I got to clean up all the mess, then?
Yeah, you certainly do. You really, really do.
Typical.
Absolutely. So, yeah, put that TV series body away and, put it on ice, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.
See you later, mofos.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I've got to say, mate, I thought we were going to do the second season. So I am so sketchy on this first season.